Hello and welcome. We just got finished reading Creation of First Man and First Woman, which is a Navajo story about how humanity came to be. And we get a preface saying that there were people, and they went through 3 worlds before finding the 4th world. And the reason they kept getting kicked out was their actions. They kept doing evil in all the other worlds. So finally, end up in the 4th world, and that's where the story actually starts. And we find that there are 4 gods. You have White Body, god of this world, Blue Body, the sprinkler, Yellow Body, who doesn't have a moniker for some reason, and Black Body, the god of fire, which makes me wonder if Yellow Body and Black Body are combined, the god of fire. So, 2 in 1. So you have, Ashes, which is Black Body, and Yellow Body, which is the fire itself. Who knows? Anyways, the gods tried to instruct the people, but they were not understood. They tried using signs, but the people didn't understand. So Black Body stays behind and speaks to all these people in their own native tongue and tells them in 12 days we'll return. We want to create you like us because you already like us, but we want to create you more like us. So we'll give you bodies like unto our own, which similar to Genesis. It's like we will create them in our image. In the Christian worldview, our image means soul over body function. But regardless, it's the same concept. The gods creating humanity in their own image, which seems to be a necessary understanding of what humans are, regardless of the place or time. Why that is might have something to do with understanding innate human dignity. Which would be what I would say, even if someone else might disagree. But I think it's reasonable because if we are all born in the image of God is what every single origin story for humanity holds true. So anyways, they do that. They all clean themselves on the 12th day, and the 4 gods appeared. They put buckskins down. They put white ears of corn and black ears of corn, or not black. They get white. Hang on. Yeah. It's white and yellow corn. 8 of the gods, or the Mirage people, so there's a lesser level of gods here, and there's 8 of them. It's the Mirage people. Came and walked around the objects 4 times. When the Mirage people had finished their walk, the upper buckskin was lifted, the ears of corn had disappeared, a man and a woman lay in their place. So it sounds like there was a large group of people, and then they got turned into just a man and woman. The gods had the people build an enclosure of brushwood, and when it was finished, the first man and woman went in. The gods told them, live together now as husband and wife. Something else you find in a lot of early origins is that in some way, it was predestined by gods for there to be marriage, which I think is another reason why it's very, very safe to say that marriage is a religious concept, because every single origin story that involves gods immediately becomes religious, and it's the gods forcing men and women into husband and wife roles. So it's not a natural phenomenon. It's not recognized as a natural phenomenon from any single source outside of people trying to say it's a natural phenomenon nowadays. Everywhere else recognizes marriage as a religious guide and not anecdote. There's nor annex. I can't remember the word I'm trying to think of. I'm pretty sure it starts with an A. But it's this is what you must do. And so the first man and first woman bore, this is very interesting, hermaphrodite twins. And they do it in 4 days. Almost everything from this point forward is 4. They have twins in 4 days, and then in 4 more days they have a boy and a girl. And then that boy and that girl ended up marrying each other and becoming a husband and wife. It says the first man and first woman had 5 pairs of twins, and all except the first became couples who had children, because the hermaphrodites could not have children, I'm assuming. Or just because it's not one man and one woman, so they couldn't get married. Whatever it is, I don't know. It doesn't explain. It says the gods may have taught, and 4 days after the last twins were born, the gods came and took first man and first woman away to the eastern mountains, dwelling place of the gods, the first man and first woman, get taken to the gods. The couple stayed there for 4 days, and when they returned, all their children were taken to the eastern mountains for 4 days. The gods may have taught them the awful secrets of witchcraft, which is interesting, that the gods taught them the awful secrets, which I guess awful here could mean just extraordinary or powerful. It doesn't have to be the negative connotation for awful that we think right now, especially because it's an older story. The awful secrets of witchcraft. Witches always used masks, and after they returned, they would occasionally put on masks and pray for the good things they needed, abundant rain and abundant crops. That is why I think awful might just mean like powerful in this connotation, because what they're doing and praying for abundant rain and abundant crops is good. Witches also marry people who are too closely related to them, which is what first man and first woman's children had done. And this is where it could mean bad, because it sounds like they're doing something that first man and first woman shouldn't have done, or what we should no longer do, which is also an interesting concept, because a lot of things, outside of something like Islam, where cousin marriage is considered a good thing to do, basically every other religion at all times forbade, in every origin story as well, just forbade you from marrying people who were too close to you. And this was also a problem in early like English times, where it might have been Darwin who married his cousin and then was like, why are my children coming out weird? And then that kind of led to learning about being too close. So it was one of those times where we got too scientific for reason to take control. And then we finally figured it out, and now we have rules and restrictions based upon that. So it's just another interesting origin point story. Yes. So first man, first woman. After they had been to the eastern mountains, however, the brothers and sisters separated. So they essentially learned that they were too close, keeping their first marriages secret. The brothers now married women of the Mirage people, and their sisters married men of the Mirage people. So now you have intermingling of these lesser gods with the humans, but the humans not telling these lesser gods what they had done. Even their new families, the mysteries they had learned from the gods. But they never told anyone, even their new families, the mysteries they had learned from the gods. Meaning that the humans have knowledge that these lesser gods don't have, which is very interesting, that they didn't teach it. So they let their knowledge die with them. Every 4 days, the women bore children who grew to maturity in 4 days, then married, and in their turn had children every 4 days. In this way, many children of first man and first woman filled the land with people. And I think that's very interesting, just as a story to try and tell you, like, how did we go from just 2 people to all the people that we do have? Because, again, in essentially every single origin story, there's a single man and a single woman at the beginning of time, and then you have all humanity coming from them. So how did that occur? And this is one of the stories that tells it. And then the prologue is very common in origin stories around the world for the first people to be hermaphrodites or bisexuals. Religious scholars have been trying for years to find an explanation, but have not yet succeeded. And I can't verify that statement is true, because I haven't read enough origin stories yet, but I will be interested to come back to that point. And if you do know of some more origin stories where hermaphrodites or bisexuals are what the people were, that would be very interesting to hear. Anyways, that's what I got out of the story. What did you get out of the story? Let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and if you want to talk books and stories and other things like that, go ahead and join the Discord below. And if you want to listen to more, right here. Here you go. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Goodbye.